The only newscast in true high definition, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 6 p.m.
Cities need to be doing this kind of work on an ongoing basis.
The city of Sherman takes a look at flood control options to avoid reliving the deadly floods that struck in 2007. Good evening and welcome to News 12 at 6. I'm Scott McClendon.
And I'm Maureen Kane. It's been 7 years since a flood killed 6 people in North Texas, 2 of them Sherman residents. Today, the Sherman City Council met to talk about the recurring issue of flood control. Daniela Rivera is live on Vancouver Street in Sherman tonight, one of the many areas flooded by Post Oak Creek. Daniela?
Maureen and Scott, one woman whose home backs up to Post Oak Creek tells us that in June of 2007, the creek had risen, water flowing across this road, levels reaching to about this first bar right here. Now today, city engineer Clay Barnett presented a flood protection plan to the City Council, which he says would keep roads like this one from flooding in the future. Although it was 7 years ago, many people from Sherman haven't forgotten the flood which claimed the lives of 2 residents. Ernestine Harrell says she thought she was going to lose everything.
Water was coming up into my yard and it continued to rise very rapidly and ended up coming all the way to my garage door and seeping under the garage about 18 inches.
This whole area of Harrell's backyard was underwater. She says it's because this bridge doesn't allow enough water to get through, acting like a cement dam during heavy rains.
And it was going over the flood, the culvert opening here and over the street, and then falling like Niagara Falls into the creek on the other side.
In all, 89 homes, 270 apartments, and 40 commercial properties sustained damage in that 2007 flood. Sherman Mayor Carrie Wacker says the flood prompted the stormwater study, which was presented to the council today.
This study really looks very thoroughly at all the issues that we have and all the potential options for addressing flooding in Sherman.
City Director of Public Works and Engineering Clay Barnett says if the proposed mitigation projects in the study were approved, significantly less flood damage would occur in the future.
All the flooding would be contained within the creeks and channels and wouldn't be over the bridges and overpasses, and there would be no structures flooded.
The council reviewed the study's findings and a plan of action in its meeting today and will vote in April on which mitigation projects the city can afford. This flood protection program would cost about $55 million. However, there are some federal and state funding options to help subsidize that cost, and Barnett presented those to the council today as well. Reporting live in Sherman, I'm Daniela Rivera, News 12.